So how much would you say Instagram affects the personal brand that you have for yourself?
I mean, it's everything. So from what you just described, there's no other way to do it. There is no other way to consistently contact attractive women and then get them to feed into a funnel than Instagram. And I wish there was something else. I wish there was another competing app, but the DMs on TikTok are just not robust enough yet. Hot girls are not on Twitter. Sorry to bust your bubble. Those hot girls you see on Twitter, those are fucking porn stars and they have someone managing their account. Hot girls are not on Twitter. Okay. So that's what you're going to, and then hot girls are on Facebook, but they're all 47 years old. So that's the thing. You're just going to find that Instagram, unfortunately, now I thought this would have changed in the last 5 years, but Instagram is definitely the best way to start up a party right now. I remember things changed around 2014 when I had just as many Facebook followers as Instagram followers. And then from there up to right now, in the last 10 years, it's been nothing but fucking Instagram as far as throwing events is concerned.
Right, 100%. And going off followers, I noticed that you had someone go through all you went from like 110K for like a month straight to like 97K followers.
Yeah.
And now you're at like 116K because your engagement is blown up. Can you kind of talk about that and explain what happened there?
Yeah. So for those of you who want to do this, it's not a bad idea. I'd say if you have 20K followers, you might want to try this. I hired a guy from Nepal and he deletes followers from my account. Anybody who was from Brazil or India or Indonesia or had Arabic or Cyrillic alphabet, he would just get rid of them because they weren't engaging with my content. So for those you don't know, when you post on Instagram, you get 2% free. It will show that content to 2% of your followers. Well, if 2% of your followers are bots from Indonesia or Brazil, then you won't get any interaction. So as I lessened the number of followers that I had, I got rid of those followers that weren't quality followers. My follower account started to grow up again because what happened was more and more quality. My content was shown to more quality followers, if that makes sense, which increased my engagement, which then they showed my reels to other people. And that's why I'm able to grow. About maybe every 4 days, I get 1,000 new followers, something like that.
Yeah, that's amazing. Do you want to say something?
Yeah, so Mike, I actually had something a little bit separate from what we're talking about right this second. And I wanted to just give you a scenario. And then I want you to tell me what you think was the mistake that happened here, right?
Okay.
So you meet a girl, let's say it was through table event or any type of event that you host, and you end up getting with her and you sleep with her. But now, right, it's the following day or maybe a few days have passed, and this girl is not contacting you back. Let's say you're trying to reach out to her, and she just doesn't want to contact you back. What do you think's happening there?
Okay, so this is something I've had this as a rule, but I'd never heard anybody say it out loud until FitX Fearless said it on our interview. My rule is this: if I have sex with a girl, I tell her, it's like, hey, if you want to hang out tomorrow, hit me up. And under no circumstances do I contact her the next day. It manages expectations because remember, women are the gatekeeper to sex, but men need to be the gatekeeper to a relationship. And unfortunately, it's the other way around. Women should be asking you to be in a relationship. If you're asking, guys, let's all do this from now on. All of you who are listening to this, from now on, the girl should be asking you to be in a relationship. Even if you want to be in a relationship, she should be asking you to be in a relationship. It should not be the other way around. If you are the one asking to be in a relationship, remember, women already get more attention than you. Women have to be slightly more into men than men are into women for a relationship to work because women get more distractions, more stimulus, and more attention. So women should always be the ones trying to ask you to take things from a short-term sexual escapade to a long-term one. Women are the gatekeepers of sex. Men pursue sex. Women pursue relationships. Men need to be the gatekeepers for relationships. The day after you have sex with her, under no circumstances do you contact her, unless it's like some kind of emergency. She needs to contact you. After a day, then you can contact her. But a lot of times what will happen, guys, is like you caught a girl with the right amount of buying temperature. And this is one of the reasons why pickup, you know, in the cases where pickup does work and a guy ends up sleeping with a girl, a lot of times if she was just not in the right mindset, like meaning he slept with her when she just wasn't ready, but she was just too drunk and she just was down with it because she did some Molly or Coke or whatever. In those cases, the next day, she's going to feel buyer's remorse because you did it on the first day and you didn't build enough comfort. But she's not going to feel buyer's remorse. The irony is you think she'll feel buyer's remorse because she fucked a dude and then he didn't call her. No, she felt buyer's remorse because she fucked a guy she thought was an alpha and turns out he's a beta. If you don't call her the next day, she's not confusing you for a fucking beta. That's the answer. So that's the first thing I would tell you. Number one, relationships, the question of what are we should always be asked by the woman first, not by the man. That's number one. And number two, after you have sex with a girl, you should not contact her for 24 hours. Now, she should contact you, and you're just very plain about it. Like, if you want to hang out with me tomorrow, just look at her, be very serious. Like, if you want to hang out with me tomorrow, you need to contact me. You cool with that? She'll say yes. I'm like, awesome. And often she will.
Perfect.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, we got another comment here. Do you guys in MOA ever tell women that they're in MOA? Like, do you ever say, hey, like, we're in MOA, we do this thing? Says Michael says women don't believe in self-help.
Yeah.
Wouldn't women perceive a guy being in MOA like him?
MOA. So obviously
Yeah.
I do, because of the panel show. All my exes have been on the show. I have girls on a regular basis. So yeah, I do tell girls. It doesn't really affect them, because MOA is like a self. So there's a couple things. MOA, because it's growing so fast, like girls don't really, dude, if you guys had a show, if your show right now was called Fuck All Women, and it was just like, all you did was just bash women all day long, and you had 70,000 people watching you live, girls would be lined up to come on your show. Girls do not give a fuck what you're talking about. Listen to Future. She belonged to the streets. Future just consistently criticizes women for being whores, and women are all trying to fuck him. As long as you do something that's successful, women do not give a shit. Status is status is status. As long as you grasp that concept, if you just keep making your shit bigger. If you're an accountant and you make funny accountant videos on TikTok and you have 500,000 followers, and you go up to a girl in the gym and be like, yeah, here's my TikTok, follow me. She sees you have 500K followers. She is 100x more likely to go on a date with you, even if she doesn't give a fuck about accounting. Okay? So that's something that you have to grasp that concept. If you don't get that and you start thinking, well, this isn't going to work because, this girl only likes a certain type of attention or a certain type of, no, it doesn't make any difference. Teaching women about MOA, because MOA is so successful, no, the girls never hold it against me. Now, Kylie does get into some philosophical debates with me, but it's so funny because some of the girls that we know, that we're friends with, they don't even like see it as a thing. Like, they think MOA is just like a fun friend group for men to like talk to each other. The concept of self-improvement for women isn't real, but it also doesn't make you lesser. Studying pickup or dating stuff specifically, that might not make you look cool to some women. MOA is not positioned that way, though. MOA is in networking and socialization. So it's one of the funny things. Pickup courses teach you techniques that are supposed to get you laid and don't get you laid. My course is a course that teaches you how to become a better leader, communicator, and better leader, a better communicator, and a better networker. And I don't teach you to get laid, and you still get laid more. I'm not trying to teach you how to get laid and you get laid more in my course than the course where they try to teach you to get laid.
100%.
There's the ultimate irony there.
Yeah. Mike, something that we've talked about on the calls is how status affects you when it's the very first impression. I'm sure you've seen the app that shows that you have like 40K fake viewers or something. And I've done it in certain bars, and their reactions are just
what's it
impeccable.
called? Something Parallel Live.
Parallel Live.
Is that what it's about? Okay, so just we got to reset this because this is one of the greatest things.
Yeah.
I really wish more guys would do this and just film this. So you go out there and you open what looks like IG Live, but it's an app called Parallel Live, and it shows that 25. You can buy different packages. You can make it look like there's 40,000 people watching you, and girls will look up real quick and immediately see how many followers you have, and then they start groping your cock and rubbing their ass on you and rubbing their tits on you. Just watch. There's hundreds of videos of guys doing this, and it's just so like people are like, I can't believe this guy's fooling these girls like that. Fooling these girls. How about I can't believe this girl is cheating on her boyfriend with a dude because he has 25K people watching. If you don't believe for 1 second that women are addicted to attention, please go to the Parallel Live Instagram and watch some of the lunacy that you will see on there.
No, it's crazy.
You want to know one of the things we figured out in MOA? We figured this out. Women are addicted to attention like humans are addicted to heroin. If you've ever seen someone who's really hooked on heroin, like the strongest possible addiction, that's how women are addicted to attention. We just leverage their addiction for attention to create a funnel so that we're around more women. That's it.
100%.
And then, by the way, it's not some women. Like women's necessity to create drama is also, what do you do when you stir the pot? It creates chaos, and chaos allows you to get more attention. It might be positive attention. It might be negative attention. Women start fights. It might be positive attention. It might be negative attention, but they're getting more attention. Andrew Tate had a really cool, great saying. He's like, when a woman's trying to start a fight with you, you should actually pay less attention to her because you're rewarding her for starting a fight with you by giving her more attention, which is all she wants. When a woman cooks you dinner and she's a really good woman, then you should give her all your attention. Absolutely genius. Totally agree with that concept. You are rewarded in my life for complying to what I need. You are punished in my life for not complying to what I need. It's very simple. And you always give them the option to leave. You always give them the option. You let them know, here is the door. I'll be so disappointed if you leave. But if you do, you know as well as I do, in about 12 minutes, I'll be on a date.
Yes. Yeah, no, 100%. So there's been a few times we've quoted one of Tristan Tate's quotes here, and he talks about the 5 F's of keeping a woman. And one of the F's is providing fun to the woman, right? So what is a way that a man could give fun to a woman without breaking his bank?
Yeah. So first off, all of you guys need to go out right now. Just you can order these on Amazon. So you need to get some card games: Uno, Do or Drink, What Do You Meme, Never Have I Ever, and Cards Against Humanity. There's also another one called Right or Racist. You should buy all of those card games and have them at your house and play them with girls. Make them drinking games. You should have whatever alcohol. Again, we have a rule in MOA: men never pour women's drinks. Only women can pour women's drinks. And I have a camera in my apartment too. There's no funny business when it comes to that. I've seen, you guys have all seen, I know you in Boston have seen this, women who drink themselves piss drunk and then complain that some dude drugged them, and nobody drugged them. That shit never happens with me, because no man touches a woman's drink in any of my events. And we film it just to make sure that everybody understands we're telling the truth. So you have whatever alcohol girls want to drink, basically, get your Casamigos, your Tito's or whatever. They drink whatever they want. They make their own drinks. They have fun. Maybe they have some marijuana vapes. They want to go out on the fucking, on the balcony, whatever. But at the same time, you're playing music, you're playing some games at your house, whatever. The other ones are, I don't know if you guys have a corollary. If you have like an Omega Mart, like Meow Wolf. Do you guys have an Area 15 in Boston? Do you guys have anything like that?
No. What is
Meow
that?
Wolf? No. So there's this thing we have here in Vegas. It's like 18 and up, and they have dubstep concerts out in the back, but they have all these like art displays in the front, and there's a bunch of bars inside of it. There's like an arts, you'll find there'll be an arts district or like kind of a strip in every city where there's like cheap beers or whatever. Or another thing I like to do is go to where like nice hotels or restaurants are. And go to something like that where a big one for me is go to Mastro's, and it's just champagne and butter cake. That's it. That's all we have. Champagne and butter cake. $40. Champagne and butter cake. That's it. Right?
No, you're right. You're right. Butter cake's cheap as shit.
That's another one. It's not cheap. I mean, $17 cake is not cheap, but it's still
well,
17.
I guess
it's
compared to everything over
incredible.
here, you should see the prices.
Exactly.
Yeah, you should
Exactly.
see the prices
But
out here. in
those are the
Seaport,
things
man.
I
It's
would do.
crazy.
I like go-karting. So when things get expensive is when you go shooting. Unless you live like in Georgia or Texas, you can go shooting for cheap. Going shooting in Vegas is outrageously expensive here. But go-karts, four-wheeling, hiking is another one. Dude, yeah, one time I got a big group of girls together and we went hiking in Mount Zion. Fucking amazing. It's a beautiful view. Such a great time. That's another one. There's a bunch of things you can do without breaking the bank. And then the number one, not the number one thing, but one of my favorite things to do is find a fucking awesome DJ, hit up 100 girls, be like, we're going to go see this DJ. Do you want to come? Tell the promoter, hey, if I bring 10 girls, can you give me a comp? The promoter says yes. You show up with 10 hot girls. You're sitting there watching Skrillex, Deadmau5, Flux Pavilion, Zomboy, whoever your fucking favorite DJ is, with 10 hot girls and a comp table. That's another thing you can do.
Yeah, no, solid, 100%. And it's crazy. I will say, and I've been part of MOA for maybe 6 months. Honestly, it feels like forever. But I will say I've spent the least amount of money and had the most amount of fun since I've joined. Because I'm able to go to all these events, all these great places, without spending any type of money, because I've learned the marketing aspect. And I'm actually excited to start going to other places in the world and see that too. So it's kind of crazy how it actually worked.
Just the main thing is you have to make content with the girls, and the girls, you have to put them in the friend zone. If you just go to the events and you don't do those two things, then the rest of MOA doesn't work. You're just a cool guy who goes to events. And you will get laid by hotter girls because you go to these events. But if you want like the ultimate, like 10 out of 10 experience, you need to go to these events and you need to leave where a bunch of girls are now following you on IG. They're super fucking hot. You might hook up with them, you might not, but you put them all in the friend zone and you made content with them. That is the key.
100%. No, I agree 100%.
Yeah. So Mike, a lot of guys go through MOA, they go the pre-selection route and they start working in clubs. You've been going out to clubs, dating stars for a while. You found your girlfriend Kylie at Swimsuit USA. What would you say for guys in MOA where their long-term goal is to find a girlfriend, but they still want to have fun along the way? What would you say that path should look like?
Yeah, so you need a lot of experience with women. And I know some people have religious convictions. I have some clients that have religious convictions and maintain virginity up into their mid-20s. If you want to do that, I'm never going to tell you to not do that, okay? There's studies that show men who are virgins, when they get married to women with low body counts, they have wonderful marriages. And I don't want to ruin that for you, but you still need experience with women. I think one of the reasons why Steven Crowder ended up marrying his wife with no prenup and then ended up having divorce is not that Steven Crowder is a dumb guy. He's a pretty smart guy, but Steven Crowder did not have enough experience with women to understand what the likelihood of a divorce or an acrimonious divorce was going to be. I don't think he had enough experience. I think Ben Shapiro's smart. I think he's smart on a lot of things. I think he's smarter than me on a lot of things. I don't think he's smarter than me when it comes to women. I don't think he's even close. I think because he married the first woman he slept with. And again, while as laudable as that is, I think men need discernment when it comes to females to understand female nature when they're telling you a thing versus what they actually react to. And you have to see it several times to actually believe it. There's a point, and I can tell you because that's what happened to me. And everyone I talked to is good at this. They've had the same experience. There was something they saw. They were like, "Holy fuck, the matrix is broken. Something in the system is wrong. Something is not the way they're telling." My mom told me to be nice to girls, and then this girl's getting beaten by her boyfriend, and now she's making him dinner. Something's wrong. I'm not saying that's good. Never beat a woman. My point is like something in the matrix is broken here, right? Something's being exposed. And so that's why I say, like, I think when you're saying you want a wife, then get good with women. You want a girlfriend, get good with women. In general, get good with women. What'll happen is you'll get to a point where you become very discerning and you go to different places. And then women are basically like, they can tell, because the way the status works is this: high status men, the top 14% of men are here. Women are below that. And then the low status men, the bottom 86% of men are here. The low status men are chasing the high status. The low status men are chasing the women, leaving heart eye emojis, spending money on OnlyFans, et cetera, asking girls out on dates, going up and doing like intent-based cold approach and showing way too much intent in a bar. Lower status men are doing this to women. The women are then they're going after the higher status men. And those higher status men, because of their lifestyle and because there's so few of them and so many women, those higher status men are letting women audition for them. And that's essentially what happens. And that's when you end up picking the girl you want to be with.